Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. Today we're going to meet with Jack and Teresia, and they live in a really nice 2017 Chevy Express van. And you're a couple in a van, and that's something I don't recommend a lot. How's that working for you?
It's working really good. We've been married 45 years. We like each other.
You must.
And yes, it's a small space, but we've figured out what the choreography is, so it works out really well.
And like today, you spend a lot of time outside.
Yes. Yeah,
All
you
the
don't
time.
live in it. That's right. You sleep in it. You don't
Right.
live in it.
And in bad weather, you do kind of live in it, but
Then you're more friends.
Yeah.
You're more friendly.
We know how to move things around inside the van so we can make the most of the space that we have.
And I'm an organization nut, so it works.
And how long have you been traveling now?
This is our longest stint. We left in November from Utah, and we've been in the van since. And we probably won't go back till springtime. So
So you keep a home base.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah, we were hoping not to have that, but there's some family situations, so we had to hang on to that for a little while. But yeah, our plan is to eventually just be in this.
Yeah, and even if you just come down here for the summer, I mean for the winter.
For winter, yes.
That just being out of Utah in the winter is an amazing
See these
thing.
smiles? Yes, we're enjoying the winter.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And what part of Utah are you in?
We're a little north of Salt Lake.
Which is pretty cold country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chilly, snowy, and we just don't want to be there right now.
They had 18 the other night there and snow, and we're enjoying 60-degree weather and sun. So
Nice to get
So
out
like
of the
you
cold.
said, we have the Chevy Express van, but we don't have a high top on it yet. I keep banging my head on the roof, and this year our project is to get a high top.
yeah.
And so you bought it brand new?
Almost.
Yeah,
Almost.
it was their demonstrator model that they had been using, so it had almost 4,000 miles on it when we saw it, and it was toward the end of 2017, so it was technically a year old. And yeah, we got a pretty good discount on it. So yeah, we bought it, and we did it with the idea of not doing anything permanent too. So in case we really didn't like it, we could pull everything out quickly, easily enough, and sell it.
One of the things that we're going to see when we go inside is that everything was really inexpensive.
Yes.
And you could empty it just like that.
Yes.
In an afternoon, you could probably empty it out.
Oh, probably a half hour,
But
less
within
than
a half hour, we can have it empty.
Right.
Mhm.
Anyone can duplicate what you've done with just the slightest bit of effort and
Correct.
not much money.
Yeah, we tried to
Easily.
use what we had. We had containers at home, so we knew we were going to use those. And so the bed's a little higher than I would like it to be, but we had to build it that way in order to accommodate the bins that we have.
Right.
And we have, well, you all have already seen it, but we have an incredible amount of space under that bed for storage. And so we worked around that, and we also had the other things that you'll see later, our drawers and stuff, or things we had at home. So we tried to utilize what we had rather than having to go and spend money on materials. And yeah, and we didn't want it to be heavy. We didn't want to use a lot of wood and weigh it down, you know, before you even put your stuff in.
Right.
And I readily admit I'm not a minimalist. I'm what Deborah Dickinson calls an essentialist, I think is what they call it. So yeah, I probably have more stuff than we need, but that's my comfort zone. So, and it works. Everything has a place. And
If it all fits in a van, you are not excessive. That's the way I look at it.
believe me, I could fit more in there, believe
Yeah.
me. To his chagrin, but I could do it. Yeah. So
So are you retired?
I am retired. I retired in December of 2017, and we start making a little bit of the build, putting some batteries in, and arranging the little compartments that we need for our clothing and supplies.
Mhm.
And then we go on the road. When we go to our daughter's house in Mesa, we usually just stay in the van.
Right.
We're comfortable. We like it in there.
yeah, we call ourselves street people because we sleep in the street.
So we stealth, we go out in the desert. We do a little bit of everything. We enjoy it.
We've only had short spurts. This is our first real long, adventure to see really how well it will work long term. And we're kind of having a hard time believing we're in the third month already because it's just been really comfortable and fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many great people out here too.
That's it.
Yeah, that's the main thing. We've really met nice people.
Oddly, I think you make more connections out here, especially in the winter,
You do.
than you do even at home.
Yeah, you do.
Definitely.
And you're much more connected with nature too. When it's
Oh,
raining,
yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
it's nice though. Last night the coyotes were serenading us, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
to people like you and the videos you present and other people, we were able to see how other folks were doing it who had handicaps, and some of them much more severe than what I deal with. And seeing that, I really felt it was doable, and I think that really helped you too. And Deborah Dickinson's presentation at the RTR about traveling with disabilities was really helpful, not so much for me, but for my partner, to really grasp that yes, it's doable, and there's workarounds. You'll see how I've dealt with some of my issues.
Would you mind if we took a look inside, see what you've done?
Nope,
Not at all.
All right, let's do that.
My one thing is everything we have has to have at least 2 purposes, or we can't carry it. So most things do have 2, some have quite a few more.
And as you can see right here, here's our table.
Here's an example. This is a footstool.
Footstool.
It's a seat. It's a table, because I use the baking sheets. And this is a desk and a tray, and whatever else you want to use it for. So
that's good use out of one thing.
yeah. So it has to be that way, or we can't carry it.
Right. So now we're inside, and show us how you've got your home arranged.
Okay, we didn't want to do a permanent build, so we wanted something that would be able to be easy to get in and out. So we bought these Walmart wire shelves that most people use for toys, and we had these bins at home from a shelf unit. These are collapsible. They fold down flat. They're fabric. So we utilized those and built this configuration in a nine cubes. 3 on the right are my husband's stuff. The middle ones that are the color are mine, and this is all kitchen stuff. And then we had 2 more, so we put them over here, and we call this the nightstand next to the bed. And this holds cords and connectors and solar lights and things like that you want to get to without having to dig stuff from out under the bed. So it works really well for us. And it was cheap enough. We have them anchored with bungee cords to keep them secure. So far they've really been holding the weight, and they're really convenient. So we're liking them.
You lost access to the front, so you have to walk around.
Correct.
That hasn't been much of a problem.
No, I mean, if it's raining horribly and you really have to get in, it's a pain. But that doesn't happen very often.
No.
And so yeah, the trade-off was well worth it.
Mm-hmm. You have a really large bed. What's this work out to be?
This is we went to Home Depot and we bought their foam mattresses, and there's 2. This is 6-inch. I think it's 6. Yeah, 6 inches high, but they're 30-inch wide by 60 inches long. So he has 2 and I have 2. So we have the equivalent of a queen-size bed. And because we're short, we can sleep side to side. So it works out really well for us. It had to be high enough to accommodate the bins. And, again, because it's not one big mattress, it's easy to get out because it's sections. And it's just really workable.
Right.
If we had a long stretch of bad weather where we'd want to be sitting in here, we'd do it. And that just simply entails taking the mattress and pushing it up. And I have 2 S-hooks and a chain that's the right length that can run from that rib to this rib over here to support the back, support the mattress. And you can sit here like a sofa.
Mm-hmm. So inside here, you probably have just a few $100s.
Yes.
In this build.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Literally.
Very cheap. Yeah.
Right.
We used mostly what we had at home. Even these things up here. I mean, these are dish pans.
Right.
Anybody has.
There's
those
a couple
at home.
$3 each.
And you can go to a dollar store and get them for practically nothing, but they hold a lot of stuff.
They do.
And see, then it utilizes the space. Because these vans, as you know, are curved, it's difficult to put things in them.
Right.
They're square.
Very.
So because of that, we built it this high, and then we're able to utilize that space with those bins.
And what we see everywhere are carabiners and magnets.
Yes. Yes.
And bungee cords.
Correct. That's how we survive. And that works really well. And I crochet. So I crochet a lot of little baskets like this one here. And these are Pringle cans, actually.
Oh, Pringle cans. What
that
a
are
good
covered.
idea.
But this is the trash can for night when you're in bed. If
Sure.
blow your nose or whatever. This is a trash can.
So you have these solar lights, and you don't have solar on the roof.
Nope.
Nope, no solar.
Nope.
You are charging off the battery.
Correct. Yeah, we have our battery box here. We have two 100 amp AGM batteries that are stacked vertically, and our son built a box for us. And we have two of the 12 volts that we can plug into.
Mm-hmm.
We also have a 1500 watt inverter, which we never use.
Mm-hmm.
And I just learned that we really actually need a pure sine to do what I want to do, which is this little, this stool here opens up, and this board comes out, and it fits right here snugly between this drawer and the bed, and it forms my countertop.
Mm-hmm.
So I can cook on that.
Wow.
And the only thing I'm able to do right now is we have the Road Pro little lunchbox that we can sit
Yes.
there and cook on. I won't do any open flames in here, obviously. No. And I have a induction plate, which was my hope to use, but that's when I learned that I have to have a pure sine to run that. So,
Yes.
so we're going to eventually get one of those and be able to cook with that. And that's simply if the weather's inclement again.
Right.
We have a butane stove otherwise that we use all the time.
You're living out of the van,
Yes.
basically sleeping in the storage in the van.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
And except for bad weather.
Yeah.
That's the one exception.
Right.
Right.
And these here are all my grand angels. We have 15 grandchildren, and I have a little angel for every one of them. representing.
15 grandchildren.
Yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, let's go and look in from the back. That'll give people a better picture of what you do. So here we are standing at the back, and we'll get a better understanding of how you built the under the bed for storage. You mentioned you were storing 3 totes
On either side.
on either side.
Mhm. Yeah, they slide in under the bed, and they fit perfectly in this space. And they're shaped correctly so they clear the wheel wells, and it works out really well.
Right. And again, it couldn't be any more simple to build. It's 2x2s and plywood.
Plywood. Yeah.
That's all.
Yep.
And I have no handyman experience in me at all. But between me and my wife and our son, we were able to do this.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, this is really something anyone could manage.
If we can
Easily.
do it, anybody can do it, literally. Yeah, because we're not mechanical whatsoever.
And it's very comfortable.
Yeah,
Right.
it is. Yeah, because you can see that's nice. That's that double mattress. And
Right.
if something happens with them, you throw it away and you get another one. And they're only, I think, like 20 or 30 bucks a piece. They're really
Right.
not hugely expensive.
2 questions I always have to ask is, how do you go to the bathroom?
Lugabaloo.
Lug a baloo, 5-gallon, a really fancy 5-gallon bucket.
Yes.
And shower?
We have the bug sprayer,
Uh-huh.
which we really haven't had to use it because our children live in Mesa, and so we actually can drop by and see the grandkids for a day or two and take advantage of laundry and showers while we're there.
But we
So,
do have the wipes, daily wipes,
but yeah.
or washcloth.
Yeah, those work really well. Yeah, the
a
wipes.
sponge bath.
Yes.
Yeah.
In between.
Yep, every day. Yep, keep clean. Yeah.
So thank you for your teaching.
You're
Taught
very
us
All
well.
of which, of course, we learned from watching you and other people. Yeah.
Good,
Uh-huh.
good. Yeah, let's take a look at your dehydrated food storage.
Okay. Since we don't have refrigeration, we have to rely on freeze-dried and dehydrated foods mainly. We have a cooler, and what we do is when you first start out, you get the ice, and you have about that first 3 days, so we can have fresh stuff that needs to be kept cool. Eat that first, and then once that's done, we have to revert to the dried foods. And I did a lot of dehydrating before we left for this trip at home, took stuff out of the freezer and all, and did it. But I'll show you how I pack it so that you can travel with it. Because my concern was people talked about rodents, and
Yes.
and we've had that problem at home where rodents have gotten into our food, and the only thing that keeps them out is glass or metal. So I utilized that for this trip, and I'll show you what I did.
Okay, good.
I like to use spices, and spices come in all different shapes and sizes of containers.
Right.
And I knew that wasn't going to work for the limited space we had. So I actually bought this off Amazon, and they were 2-ounce jars,
Oh, wow.
and I filled them with all the spices that I would want to use. It came in this little box with this foam, so it was perfect because it doesn't break. It's nice and flat and easy and uniform, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. So that's how we did the spices. We also bought freeze-dried foods, Thrive.
Mm-hmm.
These are really good. They're expensive. However, we're 2 in a van without a refrigerator. So when I cook, I can't deal with leftovers. So I need to make exactly how much food we're going to eat. And in order to do that, this is where this comes in. Because instead of me having like a whole pepper and a whole onion that's going to be too much for the two of us and we're going to waste it, I use freeze-dried, where I can use a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons, just enough for the meal that I'm preparing. We eat it and we don't have leftovers, and it's all good. So while it is expensive to buy, in the long run, it saves us money because we're not throwing food away.
Right.
I pack everything in glass jars
Mm-hmm.
to keep the little buggerboos out. And my concern was when we were traveling that glass jars will break from the vibrations that are getting thrown around. So since I crochet, I made these covers, and these keep your jars from breaking.
And we eat well. I mean, you can see there's a plethora of food there: ground beef and chicken and
Yeah, this is how
apples.
you can have meat on the road without refrigeration.
Right.
eggs, ham, potatoes for breakfast.
Pretty much anything you want, you can do it with freeze-dried. And this particular brand is really tasty, really good. It
Fried.
tastes like the real thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just a standard butane stove.
That's our cooker.
Yep, love that. Just the one burner, and that's all that we need. The pegboard comes in handy because there's no storage stuff up in your cab. You don't have any kind of like glove boxes or anything. So this gives us the ability to have things that we need in the front: napkins and connectors and electronic wires and all that kind of stuff. Here's what you do: you just cut the bottoms of the t-shirt off,
Mm-hmm.
and that'll give you a nice long strip like this. And you can use that to tie pretty much anything you need to secure or tie. Comes really in handy, and I just rolled them in a big ball. And I also kept, because my parents lived through the Depression, and we were raised with the use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without mentality. So I tend to not throw things away. So this is the elastic from underwear.
Right.
And this comes in really handy for securing things and wrapping things up too. And it doesn't cost you anything because you're going to throw it away anyhow.
Yeah. Really frugal and
Yep.
And recycling.
Yep. Recycle, repurpose, reuse. That's the name of the game.
We have a YouTube channel that we have a couple videos on, not a lot, but we're under Geriatric Gypsies.
Oh, there you go. What a perfect name.
Our son did that. He named that, and he actually put the bed build on there. So if you want to see how it was done, you can see the videos there. But we haven't put other videos on because we're not savvy enough to do that.
Right. I understand.
So we have a channel, but not really. We only
Right.
have a few videos on it. But yeah, we're the Geriatric Gypsies.
Good.
2 people can be happy in a van together.
Living proof.
And we're not living in a van down by the river. We're living in a van in the desert.
In the desert.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much for sharing your home with us. I really, really appreciate it.
Okay.
And folks, I know you've been inspired and gotten some great ideas here. If so, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you later.